PE cut with different colors in college, bro. So we got some exclusive stuff too. So.
Yo, because it was always weird to me, like how some cats got to wear. Well, when I was DJing for UConn, some cats got to wear Jordans. Like Kemba got to wear Jordans, Shabazz got to wear Jordans.
It was definitely like, I mean, if I know how those programs work, at least ours, it was smoke, but like at the end of the day, like, they couldn't force you. You know? Coach could be like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey man, like, we're a Jordan school, but, you know, you could just be like, yo, my feet, you know, feel better in these, what you gonna say, you know what I'm saying, like, don't do it, you know what I mean, so.
I mean, I feel like the school would have to end up paying like a fine or something.
For sure, like, if it's for your feet, then like, they'll let you, you know what I'm saying, like, and that was for me,
affecting
like,
the gameplay, you here to play, you know
for sure, like, and so like, you know me, like, that's how I kind of got to wear KDs, because I was like, the Jordans weren't comfortable to me, you know what I'm saying, except for the CP3s. I love the CP3s, those are dope, and so that's what I would wear, KDs, CP3s. And then there was one game against Duke where we had to wear a certain shoe. It was the they came out. So what they did was for the release, they came to the school like a week before, and we got to engrave our name or whatever.
Oh, that's it.
In the shoe, but we had to wear these for the Duke game. They gave us, that's when the color socks. So bro, I was in college when the color socks first came out. And Cass was like, "Blue socks? What y'all got going on?" Like.
Was it with the stripes going up?
I
used to crave those socks.
Like I got the right here, like it's not like that's blue, that's like navy blue socks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when they brought them to us, we're like, I don't know about that, dog. Like blue socks, like we gonna be all blue.
Yeah.
Like, they got some crazy stuff when they win the championship.
Yeah. Make sure if you got shit that you do want to sell, man.
I got you. No, it's crazy. I be thinking about it a lot because like I do got a bunch of like stuff I don't even wear. It's just sitting like when I saw the Kawhi ones.
Yeah. Sure.
Now when you got to the league, what was your preference?
Well,
you were signed.
I was with Nike, so Nike was. I mean, I wanted to be with Nike. Adidas didn't put an offer on the table. Peak offered a lot of money, but
really?
I wanted to have the Nike gear. You know what I'm saying? So.
I can't be out in the streets. I can't swag out some Peak stuff.
Facts, and then as far as like when we used to talk about like especially the higher draft picks, like we're like bro, like you gonna sacrifice okay, you can take $2 million from one of these companies or something, and feet be hurting or like at the time even Under Armour was kind of like still coming on the scene, so. Or you can go with Nike, they ain't gonna pay you.
Yeah.
They give you the gear.
But you have all the Nikes you want.
All the gear, and they're the best shoes.
You just get random shipments of sneakers and clothes to the crib.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or, Jordan was cool out, and how Jordan got cast is Jordan would you walk, if you were a Jordan guy, you walk home or go show up to your door and you have
packed, ready.
That's their play. They
builds the hype. They know what they're doing. For sure.
Gear. So if you're a Jordan guy, you got every single release, you got every single shoe on this wall.
When you were in the league, and you say you were comfortable playing KDs when you were in college, you were playing KDs in the league?
Not really. I actually just put on a pair of KDs the other day to work out, and they were pretty comfortable. I'm trying to think. When I got to the league, the hyper dunks. When they first came out, the low top hyper dunks.
I remember those.
Those were like my shoe.
The joints that Kobe wore those.
Kobe
had a pair of
low top hyper dunks. Nike sends you PEs and stuff you gotta get his approval. You know what I'm saying?
You had to get Kobe's approval.
I don't think it had Kobe's approval, but I don't think Nike was pushing as hard as now, or even
Yeah.
I mean, low key. Remember Kobe was making the roster.
Yeah.
DeRozan and all them. So
DeRozan and all them.
Yeah. So he had to approve you to be one of the guys. Isaiah Thomas.
Yep. Now when you were in Milwaukee, I mean obviously Cleveland's right there. It was like pretty much a rival. When LeBron was there, did the team tell any of you or the players at that time to not wear Team LeBron sneakers? I know Eric Bledsoe, you balled with him on the
so Eric is that's my boy. I just talked to him the other day actually. He's part of Clutch and he's close with LeBron, so that's kind of his play, and he likes him. That's what he wears, and if you want to wear other shoes or other players' PEs.
Was there ever trash talk? It's like
for sure. When
if LeBron was, I know that, and there's probably competition.
When I was a rookie, we were I think we were in the playoffs or we were about to play LeBron when he was with the Heat, and Cash was not so much nowadays, but Cash used to be like, yo, you can't wear those Like, nah, we're not a rook. Like, take those Kobe's off, or like take those LeBrons off, because like it's just, you know, it was an old NBA thing. Now it's not so much. You know what I mean? Now it's, you know, you wear what you want to wear. But back in the day, like, they'll get after you, especially the older guys. Like Drew Gooden, I had Drew Gooden as a vet, Simon Bear, even like guys like Monte Ellis, even Brandon Jennings at the time was, you know, I was playing, he was 5th or 6th year in the league.
Was there trash talk like if LeBron or like Kobe was playing one of your guys and they were wearing like a Kobe or LeBron?
I've never heard
like,
it,
yo,
but
you got my shoes
I've never
off.
heard the trash
take
talk.
My shoes off.
Yeah,
like,
I've never heard the trash talk, but I've heard of stories, and I think, you know, didn't Kobe just come out and say, like, when I see you have my shoes on, I know I got you or something? Like,
oh, wow, yeah.
Kobe said that, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, exactly, you know.
I mean, you gotta feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying? You play someone and they got your shoes on.
For real.
Like, for real,
like if I dunked on T right now, I would be like, yo, take them shoes off.
Rightfully so.
You know, like if you're one of the best 2 guards in the league, or you're a top 2 guard, or you're a top forward, or you're a top point guard, like, you don't want to wear your competition's shoes. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right? So that happens.
I always thought that was weird. It's like I could not go up against Kevin Durant and be rocking like Kevin Durant sneakers.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn, like.
Unless that's your boy, like, you know, a lot of times cats are cool. Cats, like, just play with guys and just, you know, build relationships. So, like, you know, I see that a lot, too, where, like, a guy will play with a guy or be really good friends with him, and then, you know, he'll support him. It'll be a support thing, like, wearing his shoes. And
right. Like, if I didn't know Katie and I'm, like, getting in the
league,
and it's just like I'm rocking his sneakers, it's like, damn, he's probably looking at me like his son right now. I'm making it look easy for him to trash talk.
Cats used to really, like, care about that, but not so much anymore, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and plus you got the younger generation coming in, right? And, you know, the younger generation looked up to Katie, right? So it's not more of a rival thing. It's more of like a, you know, it's a hero thing. And, you know, I think that's cool as well, man. Guys kind of coming in, passing the torch down to the young guys and, you know, learning from them. So they gaze at distance on this.
Now, being at UNC and obviously Jordan, you know, being the man on campus, is there ever times where you just ran into him, or times where he ever practiced with the team or watched you guys practice? You felt like you had to show out
I never saw him at practice. We saw him one time at, we had just played in Charlotte. We had played a tournament game. And I think Carolina was always like, man, can we get some retros, man? You know, y'all be getting this retros, like. And so we saw him after the game. We said, y'all get to the Final Four, I'll give y'all whatever you want. It's on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's on YouTube.
Okay.
You can see it. You can check it out. And that was like motivation. We ended up losing, but he still sent us like some cool grades and a bunch of other stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's lit. Yeah. And you know, you spent a lot of time. I mean, you're a seasoned vet in the league. You know, you've done Milwaukee, Cleveland, recently Detroit.
Yeah.
What was your most fond memory like with ever franchise that you played for? Like, what was probably the most biggest highlight in your career at any one of those franchises?
I think just being in Milwaukee and from, you know, the ground up. Like when I got drafted there was a old facility and a church, and it wasn't like, you know, necessarily the best environment or the best food or the best weight training staff or anything like that. It was kind of still trying to get to the point where they could be a high level organization. And so I was there that, and now to a new facility and NBA finals, and I got traded the year. Was that the year they lost to Toronto?
I think so.
Yeah, I got traded that year. So just to see that growth, I think overall that was probably the best stop for me, because there were some rough days. I mean, we won 15 games my second year.
Wow.
And then the next year we went to the playoffs. Next year we won 40, 45 games, 6 seed. You know, so that was kind of cool to kind of see that growth.
And being able to go up against like Giannis, obviously, like in practice and things like that, and seeing his growth and him be a 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
What can you say about his work ethic? Is it LeBron-esque or Jordan-esque, Kobe-esque?
You know, yeah. I mean, I've never been around LeBron or the Jordans or the Kobe's in their prime, but for him, I mean, he's always working, never satisfied. You know, the mentality of him is always to get better. And kind of once he found out that recipe of what he needs to do and how he needs to work, it just kind of became obsessive, which I'm sure you see in a lot of guys that are great. And, you know, he grew. He also grew a couple of inches when he came into the league. He was an 18-year-old kid. So
super scrawny,
man,
too.
It was just like the perfect, you know, it was just like the perfect storm, man.
Yeah.
It was, you know, and where he came from, and, you know, the story behind that is makes it even more impressive, man. And so everything that he's got going on, man, I'm happy for him. He's a friend of mine, and you know, I think he's got a lot more, you know, left in the tank.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And sticking to, you know, going back to the Kobe, you know, RIP. You were in the league when, you know, Kobe was around. Was there ever a time where you either were maybe starstruck at one point early in your career, seeing him touch the floor or going up against him, or were you at a sense maybe even nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I would say more so I didn't even realize I was in that moment until after. Because to me, like, I was just playing basketball. I do remember a specific game where he did play. We were at the Lakers. This one the Lakers weren't very good. I think it was the year before his last year. It might have been his last year. No. It might have been his last year, but I think it was the year before his last. You know, I remember he had a really good game, and it was just kind of surreal to just see that, you know what I mean, and the kind of command he had on the court, and you know, being of that age and really just finishing his career out, he still was, you couldn't guard him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't even imagine 10 years ago, that'd be scary.
Insane. Also, too, I mean, you know, you're a big sneaker guy. Obviously, you always keep the drip right. You know, I see you in the streets of Tampa all the time. You know what I mean? Always geared up.
Yeah.
Anything like outside of basketball, like sneaker-wise, like you've always been fond of?
Like what like stuff I do?
Well, I know you fish.
I fish for sure.
I know you fish.
I fish. I mean, I definitely fish. You know, I mean, that's kind of my biggest thing. I've taken up golf. I'm not the best golfer.
I see that. What is up with all the NBA guys? All the NBA guys always pick up golf for some reason. Where did that stem from?
Well, the thing is, like, you know, it came from, like, you know, the pandemic. Actually, I was gonna get into it before the pandemic, but the pandemic just allowed. That was the only thing you could do, was go outside on the course. And you know, my schedule in the off season, you know, is essentially I work out in the morning, 8 a.m. court, 9, 10 a.m. lift. You know, you got your whole day ahead of you. What you gonna do? You know, you can't go to the mall every day. You can't buy shoes every day. You can't. So, you know, golfing, fishing, doing stuff like that is kind of how I picked up kind of some spare time hobby. Inexpensive.
And it's awesome how you pick up fishing because, like, your nickname is Hook.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. The nickname Hook and the fishing, like, it just all manifested. And, you know, it's crazy because, like, I would always be like, I wonder if this name's gonna keep moving from team to team, because, like, you know, specific in Milwaukee, guys that knew me from back in the day, and, you know, I just kept getting traded with guys that knew me, so guys would come in the room and be like, what's up, Hook? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the other teammates would be like, let's just call them, and then they would pick it up, and it was just kind of like, it was kind of, that's how I kind of, you know, manifested.
Now, have you introduced players to fishing that probably never, you know, done it or
I haven't introduced,
a lot
I
of
don't
time
think
in
I've introduced players to fishing, but I've had guys that have come down to fish with me.
Okay.
Malcolm Brogdon came down a few summers ago.
Yep.
Greg Monroe came down a couple summers ago. Dylan Windler, he's going to be a rookie, technically speaking, this year with the Cavs. He came down here and fished with me. So, you know, when guys want to fish, I'm like, yo, if you just show up, I got you. So that's kind of my energy.
That's lit.
Yeah.
And now, you know, with the NBA season, how crazy it was last year, man, what was it like? I remember everybody, well, it first started with the OKC game.
Yeah.
So when did you guys, like, get word and everything just kind of shut
down? So I had
down?
injured my ankle in the Knicks game, and we were in Philly. And so I was sitting in the locker room getting treatment, you know what I mean? I wasn't playing. And then at halftime, that's when, like, everything stopped. Like, you know, teams started, I think they walked up the court, and then I was texting a few players from the Jazz that I knew. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're like, oh, it's over. Like, he got it, like, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, it's done. So a lot of the front office guys come in the locker room, and they're like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, yo, I'm talking to cats in the locker room. They say he's got it.
So you were texting guys?
Yeah, like they say he's got it.
Nuts.
And so we had played Gobert like 3-4 days ago.
Oh.
We played them, so they were freaking out. Like, you know, nobody remembers, but, like, we have a French guy on our team named Sekou. He's a rookie, and, you know, he'd hug Sekou and embrace him and give him, like, a, you know, kiss on the forehead, like kiss on the cheek, French type thing. And they were freaking out. They're like, yo, go grab him. He kissed him on the cheek, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just like, you know,
wow.
It's pure. And, like, you know, essentially, I think they ended up leaving him in the game. And then after the game, we had to sit in the locker room, do symptom checks, and then that's when it got spooky because we had to head home. and then the season was suspended like that night.
Yeah.
And I left from Detroit, and I've been here
ever since. Quarantined up.
Yeah, I've been here ever since. You know what I mean? So, I had no idea it was gonna last this long, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like when it happened, I'm like, I'm just gonna go home for the weekend, hang out, see some family, be back on Monday. Like, nah.
It didn't happen like that. I wish it happened like that.
Yeah.
So, with this, and I think the NBA did an amazing job of handling the whole pandemic, especially with what they did in the bubble. Now, with the season about to kick off now, and you see that the Raptors are coming down to Tampa, like, how does that make you feel coming from Tampa to actually see a franchise, like, get that exposure within the city?
I think it's dope, man. I walk into the smoothie spot, and they're like, are you here with the Raptors? I'm actually free agent, so, they can call me, though, but...
How awesome would that be, though? They called you, you got the rep.
That'd be dope. I mean, I'm sure in some scenario, if something was to happen, I'm sure...
They need another big man.
Yeah, because I'm local, I'm sure that would probably play into maybe their decision. Who knows? And I was laughing, like, if they did need me, like, literally, I could pull up. I'm 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
need
can
a
walk
body
there.
for the night. Like, I'm here. So, I think that's dope for the city. Tampa's a great sports city. I don't know if this area can do 2 NBA teams, but I know for a fact if you take the Raptors and put Tampa jerseys on them, it'd sell out like the Lightning. You know what I mean? Easily. People would just be,
Do you think the city, well, it feels like they are showing out crazy now that they're here, and they want to keep them. It's like they're trying to, jack the team from Toronto, even though they're here on borrowed time just because of the travel restrictions.
It's exciting.
Now we're up in here in Soleciety. I know there's a lot of sneakers you was peeping. We don't just talk basketball shoes, but I know you're a fan of dunks as well.
Yeah.
Any preference in dunk, a SB, regular low, like?
I like the SBs. I mean, I'm it's crazy because I started buying dunks like so long ago, bro. Like I have so many that I just bought them and I never really wore them. I just like, yo, these look cool, and like I got the purple lobster, I got the green lobster joints.
Oh, you an SB guy? I see you with some rare stuff.
So like, but that's like, I got those just off the strength of like, I knew somebody that was into that type of stuff. He's like, yo, let me know if you need anything. So I get those. And even when the red and purple lobsters came out, like, they were exclusives, but like dudes weren't like
they weren't out there like that.
Jumping, you know what I mean?
It's so wild to see the craze in that. And are you also a fan? Because I've seen you also. I mean, I have them on now. I've seen you in a pair of these too, the Travis Scotts. Are you a fan of the whole like artist collab sneakers, like the Drakes, or is it just Travis Scott's or just style?
I'm more into like style, bro. Like like I don't really care about the name on it. Like a hard shoe is a hard shoe. You know what I mean? And like some shoes that I don't think look good or some people like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the low Travis Scotts, I love them because you can throw on a pair of jeans, you can throw on some shorts, you can throw on cargos, you can throw whatever you want.
With the hot shorts, with the hot socks.
T-shirt and a hoodie or whatever, you can just go and you fly, and it took 30 seconds. You know what I mean? That's why I like the Travis Scotts. Like they're fire. You know what I mean? That's probably my favorite. Like just like I'm chilling. Like you see me out with the Travis Scotts on, like I low key didn't feel like coming.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
It's a good almost everyday kind of sneaker, to throw on.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, John, man, I appreciate you taking the time, brother.
No, thank you, bro.
My guy. Look out for him, man. More things on the way. Good vibes. We just gonna sit here and shop around and talk sneakers. You know how we do, man. Enjoy the franchise.